So this is Harry Davies Mirror fighting, joined by Kalle Sauerland after the first Misfits press conference of the year. A very entertaining one. How would you sum it?
It's Misfits, isn't it? We're back. It's January 2024. We've got to make it even bigger than 2023, which is going to be tough, but that's what we want to be doing. You know, 2023, the highest selling pay-per-view event worldwide of the year in combat sports. And this year's going to be even bigger. You know, it's already our 12th event in a very short space of time, and we kick off with something that's absolutely going to crack it in a place like Leeds. Love it, love it, love it.
I just spoke to Mams and we were talking about how do you go off, you know, the success of that Prime card, especially given that KSI has not got his next fight lined up. Do you sort of have to breed new stars? Is that something that you're hoping to do this year at Misfits, maybe make new stars?
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, KSI's had a 3-year camp. Yeah, basically, he didn't stop on top of his activities as an entrepreneur. Most successful new soft drink brand in the world, you know, hit records. I don't know what else he's been up to, but a lot of things. The guy's incredible. So to have a few months off, I think was probably a wise decision. Looks really fresh. Spent some time with him today. He's buzzing for this event. He's buzzing to be back, and he's, you know. But we always are going to look for, and that's what, you know, KSI didn't do Misfits to promote himself. You know, that could have easily been done. We could have done a deal just to do KSI's fights. There's always been about creating a space, a platform in this space that is going to be for longevity. So expect new stars to come through. Who those are, we will see. You know, Misfits, you don't really know, do you? You don't know what's next. It comes out of nowhere. So it's very exciting.
You're obviously your own person, KSI is his own person, but what would you like to see him do next, given he's been so instrumental for the growth of Misfits?
I think sporting-wise, continue what he's been doing. He's really improved, you know, and he won that fight. You know, I've been watching boxing since I'm 3 years old. I've promoted it for 24 years. I've seen a 6-rounder, which was competitive, but. And I'm going to try and do this as neutral as I can. If you get that point taken off, you've got a mountain to climb in a 6-rounder. In a fight where there's nick-em rounds, there's rounds where you've got to give it to JJ. So, but other than that, you really can't win the fight. So, but that happened, and now we move on. And I think, you know, he's achieved a lot already in his career. Or not a lot already. He's achieved more than, you know, he's achieved 5 careers in one already. So whatever he does from now on, he should just have fun, and he has fun. You know, this is about having fun in that space and finding those opponents that tickle him. You know, and there's the one out there, isn't there? You know, Jake Paul. That's the fight that does numbers that nothing else can do in combat sports. Full stop. That's that fight. Now, whether that happens or not, there's other people. There's Conor McGregor, which you know, I can't remember who called who out, but that's definitely there as well. It's absolutely massive. But there's others as well. And, you know, it's different to the traditional game in terms of he can really choose what he wants to do, you know, and he'll take it at his pace and no one else's.
I spoke to Mans about it, and he said, asked if that would be a risky bet to make, whether that fight happens to you with KSI. He said yes, it would be a risky bet. You mentioned there you've got guys like Conor McGregor. Obviously, he's tied into a UFC deal. Do you think that's maybe more likely to happen?
I think that a UFC, there's a natural relationship to the UFC via Prime. They have a close working relationship. They're obviously partners via the shareholders involved in Prime. They were involved in Misfits, obviously, and so there's a way of communicating with them, and you know, there's something that I'm sure that could benefit everyone. But right now we're not thinking like that. He's back in the gym since a week and take it step by step. We're going to focus on get this event out of the way. I've got my desk full of different moving parts for the first quarter, the second quarter, and you know, JJ's going to have a big year, but we're going to see what that is.
Going to the professional side of things now. I have to ask you about, I was at the AJ Ngannou press conference the other day, and sort of news that surprised everyone was, you know, the winner of that fight is going to fight for undisputed. It almost seemed like, whereas Filip Hrgović in this situation, he's been, you know, mandatory for a long time. Is that sort of something that surprised you? Because it seemed like Hrgović was the one sort of waiting for his shot, and then he's going to leapfrog.
Just so Philip's signed with the Saudis now, so like, I can give you my opinion, but it's as more of a friend of Philip's. I think, you know, Philip will have to deal with the IBF on how that goes. I think there's so many twists and turns. I wouldn't analyse that too much now. He's won a great fight. Is the other one a great? Well, I see Ngannou, AJ Part 2, right? You know, people were calling for Fury Ngannou Part 2. You know, they said, oh, you've got to do that before you do the Usyk fight. So it's especially heavyweight boxing, you don't bet on what the plan is, because the plan will often, you know, there'll be, oh, we've got to see that again, or that's got to be that. So let's wait and see.
Your opinion as a promoter on those two big fights coming up in just a matter of weeks, both in Riyadh?
Yeah, look, I think cracking fights. The one that's difficult to split is the first one for me. I think Fury, just on the basis that let's both negate them in terms of their boxing IQ. So give them both A+, so that negates itself. So they're on the same starting blocks. You then look at, okay, areas where I prefer Usyk, there's areas where I prefer TYSON. But it's so close that I got to give it to TYSON. It's the bigger man, you know. And then people say, "Oh, but he's faster than over here." But you've got to watch how fast TYSON is on those feet. Incredible, absolutely incredible. Like, people talk about sporting mythos and like incredible talents and athleticism. Look at TYSON. I mean, he shows us all the time his beer belly. How's he get across the ring that fast? That is something from the boxing gods. Yeah? That's something you can't train. You come out like that. Like John Fury said, it came out of somewhere like that. But you know what I mean? It's like, you look at it, I'm going, and I remember he trained in our gym in Berlin when he was must have been about 19, 20 at the time, TYSON. And I remember people were talking about him already, like, oh, this guy's going to be... I just remember watching TYSON. All I did was look at his footwork. It was shadow boxing. That's all it was. It wasn't even sparring. I saw. And I was just like... big man, feet are moving. And yeah, cracking, amazing talent. So I'm going definitely go with my man TYSON on that. I love Usyk, loved working with him. Great champ as well.
And the second one with AJ Ngannou, you think more clear cut?
Well, nothing's clear cut when you've got two men that can really punch in a ring together. I'd say the first 4 rounds are going to be... I said the same thing before the Fury fight, and it didn't quite pan out the way I said, because I thought they were just going to go shoot out at it in the first 3 rounds. It didn't really go that way. For reasons that I'm sure we'll see in the future how Ngannou is in this fight, and people will make comparisons of the two fights. I think AJ gets him 7th, 8th round, and I think we're going to see a very exciting fight the first 3 rounds. I just think that Ngannou's going to have issues stamina-wise if those first 3 rounds are physical. That's different to him, mate. That's different, you know. And he showed he can box. No. I have no qualms with people putting him in the top 10, because you base that on combat sports. So I don't think he has to go through those 8 fights to get ranked and all that. I'm fine with that. The WBC don't put him in the top 10. I'm not criticising that at all, because I think he showed that. So, what do I think? Going in, AJ, 7th, 8th round.
Finally, it seems like a while we've seen him now. Can we expect any news on Chris Eubank Jr. soon, and what would you like to see him do next?
By the way, before we go on that, my esprit is Jay Opataya. Just finalising that for the thing with the IBF. Fights on. That will be the co-feature of Fury Usyk. That is an absolute banger. Watch that fight. Watch the first fight back. Watch the first 6 rounds and watch the second 6 round. Taylor 2 halves. Watch that. That's going to be an amazing fight. Yeah, Junior spoke last week. Give us a few weeks. We're working out what's going on.
Lovely speaking with you.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you.